the hero of the day, an old friend, somebody who has always picked up the phone and given it to me as it should be given, including telling me that I was looking very terrible on television and should have smiled a little more, or telling me that I came across not very well on a particular subject at a press conference. Somebody who's willing to say it as it is and as it should be said. And a dear friend with whom I've learned a lot about building relationships, building character, building confidence, Dr. Anil Khandelwal. Congratulations on one more pearl coming from your stable of wisdom. A person who I made the first call to when the Honorable Prime Minister chose to give me coal as a ministry was Shri Vinod Rai. Well, not because of the scandal that you had unearthed, and we are very grateful to him. We are extremely grateful to him as a nation for having shaken the consciousness of the country to start respecting process, procedure, integrity, and in some sense somebody who brought the anti-corruption crusade to the fore before all Indians. And with such an illustrious background, illustrious career, when I got the coal ministry, I called up Vinodji that let me a person who can protect me so that I don't make the kind of mistakes that have happened in this ministry for years and years and decades to come. And somebody who helps me navigate government processes with the highest level of transparency, integrity. And I'll ever be grateful for Vinodji for all the guidance he gave me through my last 10 years in government. I'll ever be grateful to him for the almost paternal love and affection that I've received. And of course for giving me my first officer at that point of time, who helped me study through 2 or 3 nights at a stretch sometimes, each of those humongous files and papers and screening committee meetings, which were a revelation that can shake not just a nation, but can shake confidence in all governments. I tell you what we discovered, and you know that more than me, or we would probably be privy to the same records which we have both seen. But I can't imagine what must have gone through Vinodji's head when he saw all those files, when he saw what had happened in the entire process of allocation of those coal mines. So somebody I've looked up to as a person who's given to India the truth, somebody who has told India that it's time to wake up to an honest future, bring integrity into governance, and really a friend of both Dr. Khandelwal and my friend. Thank you very much for your leadership, Vinodji, all these years, and for your friendship. Ms. Alka Mittal, Anil Sachdevji, my very, very good friend, our Sherpa to the G20 now, but somebody who's also been a part of government with some, if I may borrow a phrase from him, with some incredible work that is done for incredible India, not only for tourism, not only as the CEO of Niti Aayog, giving a new thought to the development of the country, and has honorably held the India flag high as G20 Sherpa, where we came out with an outcome-oriented presidency. And all the other distinguished friends assembled here, congratulations, Dr. Khandelwal, on the gym of leadership. And I must say, you have very appropriately titled this, because when he first came home to talk to me about this and gave me a little bit of an advanced version to run through, my son picked it up and did not allow me to go through it. He preferred to read it before me. I think the attractiveness to the youth, both of the content, the subject, and most appropriately the title, will help take this book to the people who need it most. Because at that young age, if we can set the right principles, the right guidelines, the right thinking pattern at a young age, then we are sorted for life. And I must say, it's also a privilege, because the analogy that he has picked up is very appropriate. Truly, leadership or management skills are a Herculean task. They don't come easy. You have to put in time, you have to put in effort, you have to sweat it out a little bit. You have peaks and ebbs, you have times in your learning process of leadership where a lot of tribulation or fire in your life, difficulties in your life have to be confronted. In every sense, it's very akin to building your muscles in the gym. And therefore, I think very, very appropriately titled, Building Up These Skill Sets Can Hold You in Good Stead Through a Lifetime and keep you wise, keep you healthy, keep you safe, keep you, I think, tension-free, if you can follow some of the principles that have been articulated in this book. I mean, I only don't know whether yoga counts as doing gym, because after the Prime Minister set me on the path of yoga, I spent more time on yoga than the gym. But I couldn't find any reference to yoga in this book. It is there? Then I missed it somewhere. But then I'm okay. Then I'm at least somewhat on the path. But when I looked up the 18 principles, and I don't know whether 18 is a coincidence or there's a deep thought in the number, in selecting the number 18. Because 18 is in a way very auspicious. It's quite a divine number in our mythology. There are 18 Shakti Peeths in this country. There are 18 Puranas. The Bhagavad Gita, I think, has 18 chapters. The Parvas in the Mahabharata are 18. Kurukshetra lasted 18 days, I'm told. War of Kurukshetra. And for many of us, and we are celebrating Navratri, I should have started by, of course, wishing you and all your families the very best and a lot of prosperity in the years to come. And it's very appropriate we are doing it during Navratri, the launch program. But I think 9, 18, multiples of 9, all my cars for that matter have a multiple of 9. So a lot of people do believe that 9 and its multiples are important. अब आपने ये प्लान करके किया है, coincidence है, because I know you are not superstitious at all. But truly a wonderful presentation. If I may quote what you have written, in an ever disruptive and uncertain environment, forces of change require a new breed of leaders who are adaptive, purpose-driven, collaborative, and result-oriented. I think a very, very appropriate description for a contemporary leader who can take the country to newer heights, newer levels of development, who can truly make India great, who can truly make India a prosperous nation. And I went through all your 18 muscle building or tuning exercises. It may sound that because I am a member of his team that you may feel that I'm just saying it out of my adulation for the Prime Minister. But I dare say, and Amitabh has worked very closely with the Prime Minister, as have some others probably in this room. When I went through each one of your issues, for example, I've never seen him getting angry. In my years, decades of knowing him, I've never seen him get angry. You've talked about listening. Amitabh will bear me out. In any 1 hour conversation with the Prime Minister, it could be a deep and intense presentation on any subject. He listens for at least 55 minutes out of an hour. Speaks very little, but absorbs it, whatever is this thing. He never has a paper or pen. He's just absorbing information. And at the end of the presentation, will pick out exactly where you goofed up. Amitabh, you've gone through that multiple times. And each of these, for example, I don't know, many of us in this room may know it also. He gets up very early in the morning, starts his day with the gym, with a long session of yoga, meditation. His morning hours are long, but he devotes that to building himself, the thinking part, the planning part, the visualizing of the future of the country. And that is the most precious time, which helps him through the day. In fact, somebody had asked him, how do you manage with such little sleep? Though your book says you must sleep well. I wish we could all have that luxury of time to sleep. But his trick is that the moment he puts his head down on the bed, he just knocks off. Deep, sound sleep. And he could get 3 hours, he may get 4 hours, depending on exigency of work and time pressures. But whenever he'll get up, he'll be fresh. And I've never, ever, believe me, I'm saying it from my heart, I've never, ever seen him yawn in my life. Never, ever. Or feel tired or found in his face some kind of a, sometimes your face tells that you are tired, you're not comfortable, you need some break. It's never happened in so many years. आप कितने भी घंटे काम करते रहो, one after the other, meetings, public programs, traveling. Ever travel in a government helicopter? And thanks to the CAG, we'll never be able to get better helicopters in the government of India. वो आपकी Augusta Western report is going to haunt this nation for the rest of our life. And we'll never be able to probably procure good helicopters in this country. But what I'm trying to say is, and I tried to also assess myself on these various parameters. And I could really see the need in my own self to absorb some of your suggestions. I mean, it could be a simple thing like diving deep into the self. And I don't think I've really ever bothered to try and analyze my own self deeply. Maybe you'll have to come and help me do that. But there are areas in which one can assess and feel comfortable also. I do believe I'm very plain speaking, very much what you've called authenticity. I speak my mind, but the kind of trouble it gets me into is not funny. So I don't know whether all these exercises, all these suggestions also factor in the potential dangers that some of them are going to cause to us. Is mentioned. Well, I don't know, mentioning it is easy. I don't know how easy it will be to face those dangers. But I really liked some of your points. For example, your issue about, your suggestion about dialogue, your suggestion about being accountable for your behavior, your thought that one has to be credible in whatever you do. Unless the world trusts you, unless you build up that credibility, you are never going to be able to be successful. And I think it's some of these traits that you have talked about. Some you know that there's a lot of scope, time management. You know what Dr. Khandelwal had once described me as, to my wife though, he never told me directly. He said, Piyush is like a scooterist. वो एक ट्रैक पे चल रहा है, कोई काम कर रहा है, उसको दूसरा काम आ गया और दूसरे ट्रैक पे चले जाएगा. Now you're being polite. I'm acknowledging it.
You came here today at 6:15 sharp.
I have seen you working in Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food, Commerce, Textile. You have 3 tracks and you did excellent job.
Yes.
I don't know about that. But I must say, this book is truly an eye-opener. And I'm going to read it end to end. I've been able to only give some time to it. But it truly gives us an opportunity to introspect, to come up with an action plan for yourself, what you are going to do, what you are going to be looking at within yourself. And I do believe every reader of this book will be able to come out a winner in this journey of life, whatever field we may be in. And I think we all in this room will agree that learning is a never-ending process. All of us, irrespective of our age, where we are in our career, what we are doing, each one of us, and particularly our young friends, can benefit immensely from some of the thoughts that have been articulated in this book. If each one of us can focus on getting the courage that this book speaks extensively about, the courage to do what is right, the courage to be yourself, the courage to speak your mind, of course, at the right time and the right place. That second part thoda humko aur sudharna padega. And the courage to bounce back when you face difficulties, which we are all going to face in our life. I don't see a single person here who would not have faced a difficulty in their life, his or her life. But the courage to bounce back, the courage to manage your time smarter, even at the cost of saying no. And there's a lot of courage in saying no to some things. And to stand by your conviction. If you believe in something, you believe in what is right, if you are confident about yourself, I think no power on earth can stop anybody from being successful. And each one of us, I think, are people who are passionate about India. We believe in the India story. We believe that India has everything it takes to take us to the level of a developed nation, a nation which can care for 140 crore people, make sure that every child born in this country has a good opportunity, a good future, a good life ahead of them. Each one of us wishes to contribute towards that common and shared goal. And I have no doubt in my mind, as we go through this book, as we build our own strengths in different aspects of our life, we will be encouraged to do much more for the country, to do much more for the future of the less privileged sections of society. As the Prime Minister says, many of us or most of us in this room were not privileged enough to be born before independence so that we could have participated in the freedom struggle. But in our own small way, like the squirrels who built the Ram Setu, Dr. Khandelwal, through his writings, Vinodji, through his teachings, through his work of the past and his continued endeavors to be engaged with the future of our nation, with the future, with the children, through their education. Each one of us in our own ways. Rajneesh could be working through encouraging the startup ecosystem. Amitabh is taking the India story to the whole world, leading from the front when it comes to our engagement even with developed nations. Every one of us will find our niche will find our opportunity to serve, and as we are serving the nation, I am confident that this book can be a ready reckoner that can help us. I am confident it will be another bestseller. I still recall the Dare to Lead, which was your first book, and there have been many after that. Seventh book. Wonderful. I haven't had a chance to go through all your books. The Chess Master, I think I missed.
Chess Master and CEO, Chess Master or Gardener.
Chess Master or Gardener.
How many can you catch up with? There's one every year.
But really wish you all the very best. Your contribution to the new India that we are all working for, that we are all focused on, that we are all committed to, is going to be remembered for years to come. And I wish you good health, long years in the service of the nation. I hope you continue to guide us, continue to be the person who holds us accountable to our work. And you continue to monitor my work particularly, so that I can do a better job in whatever opportunity I get in my life. Thank you for your mentorship, Dr. Khandelwal. Thank you, all the illustrious leaders on the dais. Vinodji, been a long time since you've come and pulled my ear on something or the other. Long overdue. But please, नहीं टांग नहीं खींच रहा हूँ. आपको ये अधिकार हमने आज से लगभग 24 साल पहले दिया था. We were on the board together 2001 to 4, Dr. Khandelwal. और मैं कोई रॉकस्टार बन के नहीं आया था, एक साधारण.
No, we thought so. You are young and
जरूर तंग बहुत किया था डॉक्टर खंडेलवाल को बोर्ड पे. But all for the good of the bank, I hope, at that point of time.
what BOV is today is because persons like you.
No, not at all, not at all. But wonderful meeting all of you, many of you friends from the past. Many of you, I hope, our paths will cross in the future. Thank you very much. My apologies, we've just had a historic victory for the third time in Haryana. So I have to go. We have a program at the party headquarters, which was absolutely not planned until 4 o'clock this afternoon. I won't be able to stay for the panel discussion, but I wish it well, and I wish this great success. Thank you, Penguin, for all the good work. Who's a student of management at Wharton right now. She has taken a fancy to publishing, and I don't know why. I was arguing with her, it's a dead industry, तो क्या कर रही है? I'm just telling you, let me complete, madam. I speak my mind, that's been one of my biggest problems. But she insisted, and she landed up at your competitor, HarperCollins, doing an internship this summer. And at the end of it, she came and told me it's not a dead industry. And she was trying to show me the graphs to show that this is something that is everlasting, and that's something this is going to be very important, because technology can come and do all sorts of things. You can have artificial intelligence come out with anything in your chat GPT or Meta, but the base will always have to be knowledge, and knowledge is power. So may the power be with you. May the power be with you, Dr. Khandelwal, and all the best to all of you. Thank you very much.